I don't even have a brick to house the feelings that move. I got sit money, I got flip money, I got that sending my gifts out through the lift money. I got that call a nigga now to clear the strip for me. The rare time I call a nigga to make a hit for me. I got my own, but your hoes just make it lit for me. You play the bro, but we know you really a bitch to me. I pass around my secrets and even snitch to me. Like discussions with my impressions, it's hard to get into me. I think the reason it's harder now for me to find a lover. I give credit to the lack of limits I've yet to discover. I get the impression she's an enigma or something or other. Got the right to suspect her, but never enough to cover. See niggas mad I did what they do when they had to. Like niggas mad I brought my McDonald's into the classroom. I got that, do it even if I never asked you. Looking too long into the past, why have it passed you? Long text, no sex, that's just a simp in ya. You feed off the little tension that she just sends to ya. I gotta stop her every time she try to mention ya. Cause I remember my time and really how short the distance was. She cold though. I feel. For the gold, I can't just let it go. I light a blunt as a compliment now to every low. I love the fact that they were comfortable back when they doubted. That just makes them uncomfortable now when they come around it. I can't act like I'm the same man that you used to. Things I come in contact with daily now would elude you. I complicate the matters by leaving a key here to you, knowing I don't even have a brick to house the feelings that moved you. Look, I keep opinions to kneel. The constant sharpening steel will cut the head that it wields. Abdullahan, if you will. I cradle my mind to sleep while my heart searches for thrills with the very time that it kills. Oh, what a feel. I run from no one. I'm covered in love. Don't come for the youngs, they done come from enough. Renzo probably in the tug. Anything moving get stuck. Ain't telling who he touch. Hope he feel it when he pull up. No ill wishes or death sentence. Nothing that we do is really that senseless. No bitter feelings, but shit, I get it. Get it how you live before they try to kill it. Still got shit to explain. Still toe all through the rain. I still mud through the pain. Would spill blood for the love, but never would flow it in vain. See through all these dark nights, making me close to the bang. You making shots by a head when close enough for the bang. The point is to go up before they plant their feet in their ways. Cause if not, it's just another loss. The charge to the game. Thought it wasn't your favorite till you see it go the other way. Right about your alley, out that gutter lane. King flow, summit brain. These hoes coming waves, summit down, some stain. Broken hearts, pride is made. Nothing new, but nothing same. Seems I'm at a loss again. Simple cycle circling my thoughts, they just build up, making me weary of all these things that's familiar. Heart, Harry, cup filled up. Pop open the bottle, feelings done fuck the seal up. See you clearly like God's eyes through mind's eye. Fly by sky high, blowing big bonds eye. I'm running my shit now like this combine. I heard everything you see, please respect my time. Cause I need everything before I go. Hand me all my roses down the road. Hope you show me love before I go. Cause one day I may never make it home. I need everything before I go. Hand me all my roses down the road. Hope you show you love before I go. Cause one day I may never make it home. The black of the berry, the juice is potent, the vibe is too sublime. We sprinkle it with devotion and passion. This time passage is further sweetens the moment. Emotions just unfolding, lost track of what the load is. Moonlight bright, I open up like a lotus. Show the kind of love they would never try to show us. Get cannibalistic with this cannabis shit. I'll try my love with this clover. Okay, stone on, working for my provolone. Paired with Italian herbs and cheese. It's like more birds than bees. It's more about her than me. Where we serve for ease, can't you conserve your tea? That six way too hot for the evening. I get two when I need it. I'll get enthused when I see it. Won't get confused by these meetings. Could be enjoying the show, but you complain out the season. Won't fork up the toe, but jealous if someone needs it. Being facetious, staying out of my reaches. We give so much life, even what death can really teach us. And I just wonder why I'm holding on. Never noticed that I hold this long. Cause I need everything before I go. Hand me all my roses down the road. Hope you show me love before I go. Cause one day I may never
Powered by
What it do, man?
Yes, sir.
It's your boy Ant Walk.
Marquiano in the building.
We here for episode 46 of the Table Talk, Unanimous Table Talk Podcast. We're going to get into a few things today. You know, you kind of on the fly, man. You know, you run right in the booth and you ready to, you know what I mean, get it going, man.
Ready to go, energy.
Professional.
Practicing in the car, you hear
Oh,
me?
yeah, you already know. But we're going to talk about a few things today that's been going on. Some things that are kind of like breaking. Matter of fact, I'm going to just say it right now and give my prayers to DMX, his family, and any close friends of his. I know he's fighting for his life right now in the hospital due to some medical health reasons that I'm not gonna get into. But you know, my prayers, my good energy, I'm sending that out to him, man. Very, very prolific artist. Someone, you know, growing up that I always listened to, one of my favorite artists, you know what I mean? Like, I can remember, I think DMX might have been my first, like, rap album that, like, I got, like, for my birthday. It's kind of weird because, like, I got it for my birthday. You know, this is April. You know, my birthday coming up in a few weeks. So, you know, it definitely hits a certain spot in my heart, you know what I mean? And I'm like, damn, like, you know, I know he been, you know, battling things and getting better and better. And, you know, it's an up and down thing. So, you know, I thought I'd just throw that out there. Didn't know if anybody else has seen that this morning.
Yeah, I know. I had seen a little bit about it on the way over here. And, again, man, you know, DMX was a big part of our lives, man. I mean, being just kind of that crossover to kind of that gangster rap, hardcore, but yeah, man, you know, prayers to the family.
Very talented guy, man.
Absolutely.
Talking artist, actor, like.
Oh, yeah.
Great movies, man.
For
like, you know what I mean? That crossover, it's not always a successful thing for artists in any genre of music. Right. Going from music to acting. It's not an easy thing to do, and he made that shit look like it was the easiest thing he's ever did.
For sure.
So shout out to DMX.
And there's a lot of backstory. I mean, he's been through some things.
Oh, yeah,
he's
absolutely.
Been through some things, man. So, just to be as successful as he was, coming from where he came from, man, is huge.
Yeah, it's big time.
So thank you for the inspiration, bro.
Oh yeah, always. And you know, hopefully by the time this over, you know, he's recovering. He'll be getting better, man. I'm gonna just keep that on my mind. Let everybody know what's going on, and we're gonna get into a few other things. You know, we got Easter tomorrow, I believe. Which is just some of these holidays just creep up now, and it's like you don't even really realize it. They're here until they're here, and then they're gone. We'll get into something that happened at the Capitol again, which is crazy. It's crazy that now that all this shit has happened, now these people aren't even getting anywhere near close to it, and it's resulting in, you know, death, harm type shit. So we'll talk about that. So another thing that I've been kind of catching on, and with the MLB starting back up, you know, we had opening day, but I seen a lot of people kind of lingering and them talking about the All-Star game and speaking on other sports professions where they've been in similar situations and they kind of done what the MLB did yesterday. We'll talk about that. We got a viral vid. We'll get into like some local stuff. You know, we'll talk about opening day, and then kind of what we're watching, and that's about it, man.
Real nice and easy.
Yeah.
Hey, I definitely want to say shout out to the April babies, the April fools. It's April, it's Easter. You know, you looking at two April babies right here in the same room.
Oh, yeah.
My wife, man, my sister-in-law, my grandma, my cousins. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah,
April,
my grandma,
man. So,
April baby.
Yeah.
God rest her soul.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of people. April and May, man, it's weird. Like
all the areas.
We was always busy, man.
Yeah. No, it definitely kicks off, man. So, had a birthday in March. My oldest son, me and wifey, my middle son, my youngest. I mean, so we're gonna get back to back birthdays right now.
Oh yeah, you spending some bread, brother.
Yeah. I'm trying to chill, man. It's birthday every day, so you ain't getting us. Nah, it's all good. It's all good. But nah, so it's just glad that it's April, man. It's baseball weather.
Weather getting nice.
Well, is it? I mean, we just had, we're gonna talk about opening day, but yeah, it was snowing here. So
that's wild, man.
Yeah, so yeah.
We'll touch on all that. But let's start with what happened at the Capitol.
Wow.
And this was kind of like mind blowing to me because I thought we were over all this stuff, but pretty much a car rammed into 2 Capitol police officers at the barricade outside of the U.S. Capitol, killing one officer. Now I believe the driver got out and brandished some type of weapon, a knife, gun. I'm not sure. I was hearing both. And then he was shot by authorities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, and I don't understand why the guy would have targeted the Capitol or
I think all that's still coming out too,
or whatever. I don't even know the ethnicity of the gentleman that did it.
I think they're trying to keep all that on wraps just because they know exactly what's going to happen when we come out and we figure out who exactly this person is. We're all going to be saying we're not surprised.
Well, and I don't think it was a targeted thing, right? I mean, I don't think it was like, I'm going to go kill a certain ethnicity. This guy was just out to do something malicious.
Yeah.
This is what's crazy to me, man, is I hear about stuff all the time. Like, I was on World Star the other day, and I'm watching this video, and it's like Antifa does this. They're fighting with somebody in the street at, like, some type of protest. And I'm like, we're still doing this? Like, I get it. Like, yes, we need to, the people need to be, like, we need people on foot in, boots on ground.
Yeah.
Like, every day. Like, it doesn't stop. But, like, there's literally people, like, I'm going to rent a U-Haul and drive it through a crowd of people.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna go down here to, wherever, Seattle, and, we're going to, mark off trouble. 6 blocks and nobody gets through here. And, I mean, it's still continuing to happen, man, everywhere.
I don't think it's going to stop, man. Prime example, another one for me is like this shit ain't over is, we got the trial for what's
Derek
his name?
Chauvin or whatever. It's kind of quiet.
Yeah.
But that is in process right now.
Like it's still a lot of this shit that's happened over this past year that people have been traumatized.
Have you seen the videos they're releasing of George Floyd now? That look like, so I've seen 2 videos in the last week of George Floyd like in the store prior to the incident, and then there was one where they actually had him in cuffs, in custody. We're trying to get him in the back of the police cruiser prior to him on the ground and him getting killed, but like stuff that we hadn't seen before. So it's like stuff that's coming out as evidence, right?
Yeah.
So there was a video of him in the store. It looked like he was kind of tweaking, like he looked like he was high on drugs. So I mean, they're trying to. The defense is probably like, okay.
Oh yeah, they're gonna do everything
look,
they
this
can.
guy was under the influence of drugs or whatever, and he was high on fentanyl and all that other stuff. But there's a lot of video coming out to where you can tell there's a court case going on right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think the other thing with that is, that man's fighting for his life to pretty much live. So they're gonna do whatever they have to do to make it seem like he was in the right and doing everything, doing it that way.
Well, and I think out of all cases of police killing someone, this is like the most obvious, like, you just kill somebody.
Yeah.
This ain't even about a gun, bro. Like, it ain't like, oh, I had to shoot him self-defense. Like, you just choke somebody out.
Yeah.
Like, and just killed him. So this different.
Oh, yeah,
this is
very
different. I mean, this is because, like, in most cases, it's one of those, like, well, does he get murdered and serve some time, or does he get, like, a manslaughter? I just kind of killed somebody on the job. This one might be, like, there might be a death penalty, like, where, like, it's like, well, nah, you just killed this guy, so.
Yeah. I think it's going to go back and forth. Things are going to pop out, man. I mean, we can go back to when this happened and the autopsy report they were bringing up on George Floyd and what he had in his system and, everything in between that. When it comes down to these cases, these court cases, man, it never looks good for people like us. When these specific type of cases, when one person can't tell his side of the story, it's always it's a bad look. It's never anything to where you're like, all right, we'll get him in court. These situations are so, I mean, they could drastically change so quickly,
right.
you know, and I it's not that I'm losing hope, but it's like, come on, man. Like, I understand there's a process and everybody has their day in court, supposedly, but it just seems like this one is, I don't know, it's just not it hasn't been sitting right with me, you know. Even it's the George Floyd trial, and George Floyd isn't on trial. That man is dead. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's jacked up shit like that I'm just, sometimes I'm like,
right.
It's hard for me to even, you know, watch it, but
for sure,
you know.
Sure, yeah. No, it's tough, man. It's history. You know, I hope that justice is served. You know, in a fashion that not what everybody wants to see. Don't just give us what we want to hear, but I mean, handle this thing appropriately.
Show it the right way.
Yeah, handle this thing appropriately, in the way in which it should be handled. So,
yeah, we'll definitely see. And just like, you know, we were just talking about this shit with, you know, Capitol, you know, police and all that shit. It should all be handled appropriately. You know, I know there's more and more people getting caught up into that, and they're going to jail. And as you can see, there's still people dumb enough to try things,
right?
You know, not even, you know, a couple months from when this thing happened. So,
well, I mean, and this is the second Capitol police officer killed.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna venture to say by the second person who wasn't Black or African American.
Yeah, or
other ethnicity. So, you know, I want people to really, you know, keep track of these numbers, man. Keep track of this energy. You know, make sure we keeping the tally and the score fair when we're talking about.
There was another mass shooting
what's
the
going
other
on.
day.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. In California, I think it was, or something. Yeah,
I mean, like, let's be realistic here. Like, it.
Yeah, it ain't who you always think it is. Yeah, man. You know what I mean? It's there's other people out here doing damage and have access to things that certain people don't. So, yeah, man.
Yeah.
So, but the slain officer in the Capitol again, man. You know, prayers to their family. Again, it's just ridiculous that we're even talking about this.
Yeah.
You know that another police officer is being killed from something silly. So.
Right. Yeah. Wild shit, man. Super wild shit. Well, let's get into another little lighter topic, man. You know, I hate staying so heavy for too long, man, because then I'm just like...
Well, at least we start the segment with that stuff so we can finish off with, you know, some solid stuff.
Yeah, some entertaining stuff. But, you know, I like to be informative sometimes.
Yeah, we got to talk about it. We got to.
Oh, yeah. But let's get into Easter. You know, we got Easter tomorrow.
Yes.
And I was reading an article on how Easter is just another pandemic holiday. And I started thinking about it like, damn, like we really haven't had that type of Easter here in 2 years now, I guess you could say, because last year we had Easter, and it wasn't.
It was the first. I think Easter was the first holiday last year that was kind of weird.
Oh yeah. So you know you had that, and even when we were talking about last week, you weren't here. We were talking about what was that? Spring break and all that stuff, and how this kind of all started during spring break. You know what I mean? But it's just interesting to see like what we're doing now. What are you guys doing for Easter? Y'all doing anything Easter-like, or are y'all doing anything with precaution still?
So we're gonna do some individual stuff at the house.
Yeah.
You know, instead of getting you know, groupie with the family like traditionally. Now I mean we still gonna get the egg hunt popping.
Yeah, for sure.
That's always sweet for the kids, man. Nothing better than watching them run around and find them and all that good stuff. You know, we're gonna paint some eggs, dye some eggs, some stuff like that, some hard boileds. But outside of that, man, just spend some time as a family.
Okay.
And really, again, we try to take these holidays as times to enjoy each other.
Yeah.
And take some time off from work or whatever it might be. So really, that's about it, man. We'll probably have a nice solid little dinner. Now I am gonna visit some family that I traditionally probably would have joined for majority of the day. But it'll probably be more of a quick visit in and out versus, you know, hanging all day like we used to.
For
so,
sure.
But yeah, man, that's about it. Just kicking it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you know, I'm seeing that still. Like people are still out doing the things that they would normally do, just with more of a precaution. I think the vaccine is starting to help a lot of this too. You know, they're lining up to get this vaccine, which I think is a good thing. You know, makes people a lot more comfortable in some of the things they have to do when it has to do with, you know, being around other people, or bigger crowds. You know,
comfort level back.
Oh yeah. So, you know, I'm starting to see that. Hell, when I was trying to get the vaccine, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, they were sold out. Like, they were out of spots. You know what I mean? I just secured my spot to get mine taken with my doctor. So, you know, I'm starting to see it, you know, pop up and around. And, you know, we even talked about, you know, what Krispy Kreme is doing, you know, with this vaccine. And if you get it at least one shot, then boom, you get a free donut every day. You know what I mean? So I think people are starting to bring.
I might go get my shot now.
Oh yeah, for sure. Nah, but I think we were talking about. I think other businesses are going to do the same thing, man. It's going to be very incentive based.
Get people to come out.
I think now with things like Easter and, you know, more holidays are going to come up, they're still going to have a slight restriction on it. Hey, you can get all this handled by just getting this vaccine, and you don't even have to worry about it. But, you know, that helps to want to do bigger Easter egg hunts with, you know, with your kids, or at least going to see the Easter bunny and things like that. You know, I don't know if people still do that a whole bunch. I just seen one of my friends, they took their kids and they seen the Easter bunny. That was
the most popular thing to do when we were kids, man. Yeah. Like I got so many pictures of like us specifically, like our parents taking us to see, you know, Santa Claus and Easter bunny. And
man.
Trick or treat. I mean, our parents made sure we had that kid experience.
It was like a thing though, like
weird.
When back in the day, like, and maybe it's because I don't have kids now, but I still think it's this way. But back in the day, when you had kids, like, it was a thing to do. Whenever there was something to do that had to do with kids, it was always the thing to do if you had kids. You know what I mean?
If the circus comes in town, we gotta go. If the monster trucks are down there, you gotta go. I mean, whatever it is.
All that, any of that stuff at
Mario
US
Kart,
Bank Arena, all that stuff.
Wifey sends me stuff all the time. Like, yep, you ready to go? Just bought tickets. And I mean, it's nonstop.
Yeah.
It's like you gotta do it.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you gotta look at it, man. Like, this is your kid's childhood. Do you want them to be like, I had a good childhood, but, you know, I didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
And they're not gonna come out and say that, but they'll, you know.
No, it's
you'll know because you're the parent, man. You know what the kid did his whole life, you know, to a certain extent. So
I look back at different things in my life, rather been fun or serious, and I could pull just a little something out of each experience that made me collectively
you can remember something, man, and that helps you remember things from when you were younger.
Yeah,
I'll never forget some of the things I've did or, you know, have done when I was younger. Just,
you know, where I learned that biggest lesson, we went to Disney World for the first time, and my kids wanted these freaking toys, like those light up joints you buy, like as they're like when it gets dark, they start pulling out the little carts and everybody's
the light up joints,
and they were like 40 a piece.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, I told my kids, I was like, nope, not doing it, not getting those. I'm not. My wife's like, you getting those? And I was like, no, I'm not. She was like, yes, you are. Like, me and her had it out, and, like, I ended up getting them. And, like, dude, it changed the whole trip. Like, those little stupid toys that they don't even play with no more was, like, but they'll always remember that, man. And they make, like, because just we watch the fireworks. They got to spin around with their little light-up things, and they'll never forget that, man. And it was cool stuff. So it sucks that I had to spend $80, but it is.
Disney going to get you first and foremost.
They was like, come
on,
I
already
bro.
know. Because it probably was a joint where it blew out the bubbles, too,
the
lights, all that. Oh, they going to get you. They going to get you, bro. Because guess what? Not even 2 feet from you, it's another kid playing with his and all that. And that's right what they saying. They like, he got one, I want one. Man, no problem.
They had it set up. They was mass little boots with little neon lights.
They had all the joints. I know how it is, man.
Dang.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all got me. Yeah. I said, next time I got to get out of here before the dark hit.
Yeah,
you
man.
Know what I mean?
But you're right. Like, a lot of that stuff, like, they'll remember until they're old, man. Like, and when they take their kids to Disney, they'll be like, man, their wife gonna say something, you know what I mean? And they gonna be like, man, I can't do that. That pops fuck around and got me this. Now I understand how expensive this was, but I'm gonna get it for y'all. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And that's what you do on vacations and things like Easter and things like that. You know, they want the Easter baskets.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They want the money in there. They might get because I even remember, like, at a certain point, we were getting, like, gifts during Easter. And I'm like, okay, this is
little
this ain't
cool,
bad.
a little something, a little different stuff.
It was like a little warm up to my birthday. Like I'll be like, all right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it's getting nice. Get the money in the eggs. You know, you find the eggs and then you get a basket. They might put a little CD in there.
Or something. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or a video game, like back when they was like affordable type shit. But you know what I mean? Like
I get a new outfit and shit.
Yeah. Big time. So, you know, I always remember stuff like that. And I think that attributes to why back in the day these things were so important, man.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't social media. Wasn't a whole lot of this extra stuff that is, you know, going on now.
Right.
But I don't know, man. I just think it's not the same no more, man. Like to a certain extent.
Well, you know, now I do know this. This is what's a little different. See, I look back at photos of us, like Polaroids and stuff of us on Easter Bunny lap, all that good stuff. Now everything is so social media, so to the forefront, pictures and phones, to where it's almost like everybody keeping up with the newest and latest trends, right?
Yeah.
So everybody want their kids to have a matching outfit with the Air Max and the Jordans, or you know, everybody want the family picture, or you know, my kids got this for Easter, my kids got that for Christmas, and like you start to get competitive, man. Like you know, I go to the circus and I see my guy with his son, like, what up, bro? You know what I mean? He there doing his thing, and I'm like, man, he done got him a little toy. Now I gotta get one, and he got popcorn. Now we gotta get nachos, and man, before you know it, it's like what Safari was saying, man, the other day. I don't know if you saw that. Where Safari was talking about how our culture creates a feeling of just not being enough, to where we don't appreciate what we got.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
It's I got clothes on, but if they're not Prada, I ain't doing it right.
Right.
You know, I got one tattoo, but I need my whole body covered, or I got, you know, a couple shoes, but I need the J's. I mean, whatever it might be, or my, you know, I'm driving a Chevy Cruze, but he got a Camaro, and you know, transportation, and cloth. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So don't ever miss that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure.
You know, if you making it by and you're doing your thing and you're a positive person and you're working and you're schooling and you're getting knowledge, man, and acquiring things, and you all right.
Oh,
you know,
sure.
so it's not. But yeah, man, that's cool, man. So you know, the Easter and the holidays just become a big, you know, celebration, man, of how fly can we get, and how much joy can I bring to my kids.
Yeah, so. And it's always had that kind of background feeling that it's always had. It's just, you know, we go later on in our years, we think of it a little bit different now, man. I mean, we don't even really bring up the true meaning of Easter anymore as much as we used to. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's
well, I mean, and if you spiritual, you know, you talk about the resurrection of Jesus Christ, right? I mean, so, and that's the other thing. It's like COVID done smacked all these churches out of commission. Where we used to go to church on Easter, man. And if you didn't go to church any other day, you went for Easter and Christmas.
And that's what that article kind of brought up is, you know, is this pandemic going on and on, less and less people have been coming to church. And even at that, like, people got to be 6 feet away, and some churches aren't that big. They're not, all of them aren't mega churches, so they all can't do the 6 feet thing and still get everybody in here. So it's becoming like an either outdoor thing, or they just are live streaming it and you watching on your phone, which is, it's cool because we're in this day and age, we could do that and you don't feel left out. So, you know, it makes it safer. You know, it makes things more doable for the older crowd before the vaccine was out, you know what I mean? So
this is one of the crazy things. I ain't gonna get too deep on this, but church is what you make it. Your relationship, your knowledge, you reading the book and the word. Church brick and mortar, the buildings are for fellowship. A lot of people love fellowship. They want to go and they want to sing and they want to worship. They want to talk and speak positivity into other people's lives and hear positive things from other people. So fellowship is a major part of the religion. However, the word is right here in your phone or your Bible or whatever you got, or between two people. And, you know, you can get what you need out of it at home. What happens is you stop going to church because it's closed down because of the COVID. But now, are you still studying? Are you still having that relationship with the Lord? Are you still yearning for that? Or is it just like, oh, well, man, out of sight, out of mind. I don't go to church on Sunday, so I'm just out here. I mean, it's so crazy how the dynamic changes with COVID. And when you talk about capacity, trying to stay 6 feet apart reduces capacity of any building by more than half. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, you're talking about, like, if you go to a stadium, you know, that holds 50,000 people, man, you might be able to get 25,000. You know what I mean?
If you did it
because
perfectly.
you're looking at 4 to 5 seats. I mean, it's just crazy, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just we're living in a different world, man. Living in a different world.
Yeah, man, definitely for sure. Let's get on to this next topic that I got. And it's kind of an important one, and it has to do with the MLB. And it's the MLB that is announcing it will move the All-Star game and the draft out of Atlanta due to Georgia's new voting restrictions. So the Major League Baseball fundamentally supports the rights of Americans and opposes restrictions to the ballot box. And this is from Rob Manfield. So I knew this was coming. You know, the MLB had to. They were going to have to move this All-Star game because it's been done with the NBA All-Star game. It's been done with a few other type of events. I know the All-Star game, NBA All-Star game, I think it was in Charlotte, and then they moved it out of there for what was that for? For equal rights and, you know, stuff like that. But I seen this coming. There were so many people talking about it, and then I seen an article from Jamel Hill, who formerly on ESPN. She was talking about it, and I was, you know, pretty much in the field of it. Yeah, I agree. You know, if your state / city can't get simple things together, we're not gonna bring business to you if we don't have to.
Right.
Yeah, you might have an actual, you know, sporting franchise there, but we're not gonna bring you the incentive things that we do within our business to a place like this.
Right.
Especially because you're going to get out-of-towners. You're going to get everything. And
it's a huge
they got
push.
fans, and you know, and if it's something that majority of fans are disagreeing with, then they're not going to do it.
Right.
So, you know, this is just one of those things where it's like, hey, we seen it coming. We knew it was going to happen, and you guys legislatively are either going to have to deal with it, or you'll always suffer this same consequence when it's, you know, something that has to do with something similar to this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know, I thought I'd throw that one out there.
Yeah,
you know,
and Atlanta's too big of a city to not have their stuff together. I know Chicago's going through the same type of scrutiny. It's just as a city, the mayor, you know, the city just does not have a grip on what should be going on. So a lot of places are turning away from them.
Yeah.
You know, and like you said, I mean, it's kind of the LeBron and Cleveland thing. It's like business is thriving when he's there. If the playoffs are there, oh my goodness. But if that man's gone, it's just normal old day, normal old stuff. So, yeah, Atlanta, tighten up, man. You guys are too big of a place to.
Yeah, and they just had something there, and that was before they figured out what was going on with, you know, voter oppression. And now they're like, no, we're going to pull it. You know what I mean? So don't think that they won't do these type of things. They will end it immediately. You know,
and I know the NBA just, you know, had the All-Star stuff there that didn't really go too well from a I mean, it went well from it. Everything was successful. Yeah. However, I've heard a lot of negativity from how they handled it, what actually happened, was the timing right, was the city, you know, should they have it elsewhere? I mean, it
already got moved from somewhere else to Atlanta.
Atlanta better be careful. And,
they are. I mean,
they never really shut down during COVID.
No, they didn't at all.
I mean, I know people down there that work at bars now that are still working till 4 a.m. You know, people are still out Monday through Friday, Sunday through Sunday partying. I mean, it's not really. So I don't know.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man. You know, it's something I want to throw in there just to let people know what was going on. You know, and that actually happened. Like, they actually did, you know, get rid of it. So, you know, it's important to know, you know, and especially if you're a business and you have it in a particular area, state, whatever. you're a millionaire, probably billionaire if you're an owner of this, company, team, or whatever. You have influence over what's going on. Right. So you can make a push for some of these things, and they should. You're part of the community, so you have to do those things.
Yep.
You have to.
Yep.
But let's get into we got a viral vid. We missed out on one I think a couple week ago or something, and we're gonna touch on this unless he doesn't have it. I don't know.
Yeah, I watched this video. I saw it prior to you putting it on the doc, man, and it's like, wow.
Oh, you seen this one before?
Yeah, I seen this one.
Yeah, this was kind of
a couple of days, man, and I was like, oh, Benny Hun.
Yeah, type shit. But we'll play it for you, you guys, just to see it. This is going on. This is regular shit that's going on here.
Yeah, this guy's a professional. He don't give a whatski.
You got it playing? We'll play it right now. Yeah, so knife skills is on point, man. You know what I mean?
Man, forget the knife skills. This guy picked that octopus apart like a doctor, boy. Man. He cut the nuts off.
Telling you, man.
Cut the head off. I mean, that thing was still sticking.
I don't know if you even heard like the kid look. He was crying in the background, man. Yeah. Like I'm like, this is probably an experience. Probably got slime over everybody that's right up front watching. Like,
oh yeah,
yeah. And that's the thing. Like I know, like I don't want to mess this up, but I know it's like Chinese and like South Korean chefs really nice with that knife, man. Their knife work, like. Oh yeah, they be cutting the fuck out of some meat or whatever they doing, and I mean their presentation, it's always off the Richter, like it's always super professional, super clean cuts. We're talking like fresh cuts, like they could peel the skin off that shit with how sharp the knives be. You know what I mean, so
they know exactly where to cut, what kind of meat they're very skilled and educated.
Oh yeah, and the thing with like with an octopus, like. Obviously, because the tentacles are still going to be moving because of how the muscles are made, and when you add a little bit of salt, it's still moving. Like, then people going to get that food, and it's still going to be moving, dog.
Right.
So are you a sushi guy?
I am a sushi guy.
You like sushi?
I am a sushi guy. Now, I keep it very limited. I don't go too hard on the extravagant stuff. I mean, I keep it to like a salmon or a shrimp or something. I mean, but I ain't never had no octopus. I've done some caviar, and I've had some, I've even had a little shark, but I mean, just some octopus. Nah.
Yeah, see, I do the calamari.
Well, I guess that's squid though, right? But isn't calamari squid or is that octopus?
Either one of them.
I've had calamari, fried calamari, and that was pretty solid.
Yeah.
But I never had no octopus.
Yeah, that's as far as I go though, man. I do your California roll, but that ain't even sushi, man. You know what I mean? That's just
grass, seaweed, and rice.
Yeah, that's just some old regular shit. Yeah. So I'm not really big on like the raw.
I can only do a couple little items.
Yeah, I mean, I can't do it. But
are you a seafood person? Cooked? I mean,
I could
do
crab
legs and all that.
Yeah,
same
sure.
here. Same here.
Boil, not so much. It depends, but I'm not. Yeah. Throw my shit on the grill once it come out that water. Go. You know what I mean? And let's season it up. Let's get it looking nice, and I'll eat it like that. You know what I mean? Yep. But everything else, they can have all that shit going in there. I want to
personally do a voiceover dub on that video and like commentate it while he's cutting it. Like I think I could get that pretty funny, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the way he was throwing those legs back and was, I mean, that's
bro threw the head on the ground, and dude was just like, the fuck.
Well, the guys that were helping him, man, they were the funniest. Like he threw like 2 legs over. The one guy caught him. Then he threw 2 more legs. The other guy caught him, and he like walked him off somewhere.
Yeah.
Like he's finna go feed an alligator or something. I'm like, what is going on here?
Yeah,
but,
man. Crazy. Yeah. Did you see I guess it's kind of viral, the viral video or picture of the alligator at Jungle Gyms? Because people they don't have a Jungle Gym, so they've never seen it. So they're like, what? You got a whole gator on ice? Like, just chilling like that? I'm looking like, this is Jungle Gyms. This is a regular Saturday at Jungle Gyms, you know what I mean?
Well, you know, my stories about Jungle Gyms, literally, you can go to the freezer department and get a whole frozen rattlesnake out of that mug. Like, I've got, me and my sons going there and just literally find all exotic stuff and just get weak. But yes, there's a whole thing. They got sharks in there on ice.
Oh yeah.
But my dude posted that alligator and he was like, come with the bullet hole in the head and everything.
Yeah. Nah, for real, man. Like,
yeah, Jungle Gym's got that work.
Oh yeah, it got some super exotic shit that you ain't gonna find everywhere. It's the spot though, man. Like, people looking for like authentic anything. Like, that's the place to go. Like, you gotta remember, a lot of the restaurants and local restaurants that are authentic around that area, that's where they going to get a lot of their shit from. Yep. So I'm looking like, shit, if they in here getting it, nigga, I need to be in here getting it if I'm trying to replicate any of these, recipes they got going on. So,
well, I mean, and people don't think about this. Like, when you go out of town to a coastal city, seafood's off the chain because it's fresh. They get it. It's a daily thing for them. We live inland United States. We're in the Midwest. We're in Ohio. So there ain't a whole lot of fish and aquatic and sea life here just readily. So it came in on a truck or was delivered. Somebody's got to get that stuff. There's only a few places in the city that get that exotic stuff, man. Jungle Gyms, Vonderhaars, like places like that. But like, man, it's, and even on some other meats, like, you can get a steak anywhere, some old ground beef, that's common. But if you want some boar or, man, a lot of people in Europe eat horse. We don't eat a lot of horse here, but, man, there's a lot of stuff you can get at Jungle Gyms or some,
What's that one beef, that Japanese beef, Wagyu? Yeah.
That's super expensive.
A7 shit, you know what I mean? Motherfuckers be looking for shit like that, which is, it's dope, though, that we can find that here, though, man, because you can't everywhere. And it kind of brings up another thing. I don't know. Like, if you remember, like, going into Walmart and Kroger's when they actually had, like, the lobsters in the tank, they don't even have that no more.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just things I think about like that. Like, I remember all the time, like, when I went over to the meat aisle and you looked over there, they had a whole tank of just lobsters. You just remember shit like that. Oh, yeah. I don't know if
like, give me number 27.
Red Lobster still do that? I ain't been in Red Lobster in so long.
Man, me neither, man. The last time I went to Red Lobster was around tax time in 03. It's like, nah.
It's
been a minute. Last couple times I've been there, because even like Papa Do's, they got one big ass crab or lobster in there, and that's it. And he's just like a pet for real. They don't even cook his ass. He's just in there like, welcome to Red Lobster. I'm a crab or a lobster.
Type shit. Nah, because I remember all the times, like, motherfuckers was getting lobster. You go over there. You either got
20 them bitches in there climbing on top of each
other.
other.
You either got to pick them out or you just saw someone getting pulled out.
Biggs geeking.
Yeah, man.
Biggs up here like, get him.
Yeah, nah,
cut his thing off.
Yeah, that's how it used to be, man. And it just goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Like, just little small things like that change.
They talk about them wet markets over in like China and stuff, like where they claim COVID came from.
Yeah.
Man, it be fish still wobbling.
Oh, yeah, them motherfuckers breathing and shit.
Freaking monkeys.
Yeah.
Like, you can get all kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah. Like, it's some good food over there, but it's some really, really, like, low-key dangerous type of infections you can get.
Got bacteria over there with a mask on.
Oh, yeah, man. It's wild shit.
COVID creeping through the crowd.
Super wild shit. Let's get in. We got 2 topics left. Let's get into this second to last one. This one is kind of it's a mix of, I'll call it opening day and slash, just with the new news on the banks.
Gates.
Yeah, with DORA. I don't know. I thought he had all these in here already. I guess not. But we'll talk about it for a little second. We'll talk about some Reds real quick. Just with opening day and how that was, how that kind of turned out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy. Last year, I was talking about this on Facebook. Last year, during opening day, nice weather, beautiful weather.
Oh man, it was like 80.
Man, wasn't a soul allowed into that ballpark though.
Right.
This year, things are starting to open back up, starting to get right.
Freezer ball.
Man, we in the 30s. I wake up and there's snow on the ground. Like, I'm talking about like
My car was
physical
covered.
snow.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the hell? And then I start thinking like, this is Cincinnati. This is April. This is opening day every so many years in Cincinnati. This is just how it goes. You know what I mean? So, I seen that. I'm like, all right, watched it a little bit of the game. Can't even watch the game because of the deal that Bally Sports has with the Reds now. They used to be Ohio
Sports,
Fox Ohio, FS, whatever
yeah,
that
FS1
was.
or whatever. Yeah,
FS1 Ohio, and them changing that out. Now you can't even watch a game. So, did you go to the game? Were you down there? What you have going on?
Man, what's crazy is that I had absolutely no activity intentions whatsoever with the game. I basically watched it on my phone in my pocket. I was coaching, so I went to work like normal. Obviously, just not a opening day ain't like it used to be. At least right now, it's temporary because it's coming back. I need it. It's a holiday, man, for us. It's the 1st of April. It should have been sweet, but it was cold. It was flurrying. I went ahead and worked like normal. I didn't take off like I traditionally do. And then at 3 o'clock, man, the game came on at 4, but at 3 o'clock I was coaching. So at 4 o'clock the game started. They were down 1-0 within like the second batter, and I was like, man.
Yeah.
However, it was very cold, and I am gonna give it to them that, man, nobody wanted to start the season like that.
Man, who the fuck? What the fuck are the Reds doing, man? Let me ask you this question real quick. So they go to Arizona to fucking do spring training, all fucking spring, or all the beginning of spring, just to come back and have a home opener that's 30 fucking degrees.
It's crazy.
We should just start doing spring training here. I get it. Everybody goes somewhere warm, but half these fucking cities, they don't even be warm by the time this shit start.
Right.
So that's some of the weirdest shit like that I don't understand. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, what
I get it for getting some work in. You want to have the climate right so you can actually get out there and get after it. But maybe they come back earlier. Instead of being gone for so many months, come back and a couple weeks shy of that and get working back into that cooler weather.
Yeah, that's true.
But I can remember being in high school, and because of the school year being what it was, you had to get ready. So rather it was, we started, like, our season started in April, but that meant we started mid-February practicing and trying out and all of March.
I was inside though.
Well, but you eventually have to get on the daggone field.
Yeah, you do.
You can't keep. We practiced in the gym a ton.
Yeah.
But you can't teach nobody how to work a baseball on a gym floor. You had to get out there.
Yeah.
Your pitchers need to run, and I can remember being out there, wind whipping, long sleeve shirts on, trying to play baseball, sniffling, cold, eyes watering. But that just being what it is, because you got to get ready.
Yeah. For sure.
It's a weird thing, man. They coming. You're coming out of the winter for a spring sport, so all your conditioning is kind of during that cold time.
Yeah,
it's odd, man. It's really odd.
Like
in football, you start warm and then get cold.
Yeah,
so it's kind of a cool transition. But to start cold and then try to get warm and you playing outside on a dirt field, it's a battle.
It's understandable.
It's awesome though.
Yeah,
because when that weather starts to change, I'm like, baseball weather.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
So,
well, it kind of flows into our topic of what's going down there at the Red Stadium, right off of is it P Rose Way? Yeah, in Nuxall. It's all down that street, all on the banks. They have what's called DORA now, and it's pretty much you can walk in this area with alcohol. And, it used to be, the thing was there were so many bars in a row, you really didn't have to worry about that. But I think they got to a point where they were like, I mean, why wouldn't you allow them to do this?
Yeah.
To the point that now they're allowing people to do this. During like the first game, like opening day, they do it. And what was like opening NFL for the Bengals, they would do it. They'd have that little area on there.
Sure.
But within it was more confined. But in that area, you could walk around with a drink, and they had, certain city ordinance for that. But now it's like a permanent thing now. Have you heard about this at all?
Yeah. No, I was actually really excited for it. I saw it coming. I was involved with some of the stuff leading up to it and just keeping myself, just kind of up on it, man. But I'm excited. A lot of cities were doing this prior to COVID, and then COVID, I think, accelerated it for a lot of other cities like Cincinnati. So, because, there's a place downtown, I forget what it's called. I think it's called Spirits on Main or something like that. But there's a place that sells wine and beer. And they were closed for a while during the COVID stuff. Well, they reopened. And one of the cool things they were doing is they were doing like margaritas to go. So you could come down there, grab a margarita, and then you just had to take it with you. Yeah. Now, there was no ordinance downtown at this time. But, hell, I was drinking that thing before I get back to the car. Like, I need another one. Yeah. So it was kind of a cool thing. But that's how they were able to stay in business and keep stuff going. Because people still want to drink, still want to have a good time. Right. But you had to kind of like go get it and go take it with you, whatever. So I'm thinking that that's a very cool addition to down there. Now, my question is, can you bring your own stuff and drink in that area? Because I'll come down and post the hell up with a cooler.
Well, I think, like, if I'm not mistaken, the cup costs. It's a specific cup you have to drink.
So you got to have an actual.
And I think it's that in the picture, cup. Yeah.
So you can't just be walking around with a bottle of Budweiser and thinking.
But who's going to stop you if I buy one cup? All I got to do is keep it.
And keep filling it back up?
Yeah, I buy it one time.
Sure.
I could come down there with the cup. Now, unless they figure out some way to do it day to day, it's going to be too hard for that. We all know it is.
They can't
because you have to be you as one bar, you have to be in it with the bar next to you, the bar across the street, the place you're talking about right around the corner.
So you get those at the bars there. They're all selling those DORA cups.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So you'll be able to. So that's how it works. So, but here's the thing. Like, obviously, the DORA cup's gonna cost a little bit more than if you were to just buy. You go into that bar and you buy something. You just have to stay there with it. A regular like Bud Light or something like that. So they're gonna make their money off of it. But like I said, all you gotta do is buy this cup one time. And I think that's all you're really gonna need. Now, maybe seasonally you might have to switch it up.
Yeah.
But still, you're buying it one time. If you go down there at least 3 times during the season, I'm sure you'll get well over your money's worth for the actual price of buying one cup.
Well, see, and I'm the literal type of guy where it's like, you can drink alcohol within these limits. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll drink liquor down here, and you didn't say it had to be a DORA cup from a bar. You said between this block and that block you can drink.
Yeah. And like if you go down there with your wife, all she has to do is put a little bit of that, you have the cup, have the liquor, all you got to do is pour it in there, and that's, I'm just looking at it in layman's
don't be telling nobody our secrets, man.
Hey, look, man, everybody knows what's going on, man. They got to know.
I can remember, I go down there, I ain't going to lie to you, when I go to opening days, I take a book bag with me. I put, a 12-pack of, Bud Light Platinums in there, and I just keep them coming, man. I've been walking around downtown with a bottle. Now that's opening day, right? Yeah. So they don't give a
little bit more lenient. Yeah.
But we've been getting.
But I think that was the thing though too. Like down there on the banks, they were just super lenient with it. You know what I mean? And it's like, why not? And I think the only issue they may have, is the age requirement. You're allowed to be within that outline of where you could drink. Do they allow any age in there? How are they going to do that?
Yeah.
Because that costs money to keep somebody there to check. which I don't think they're gonna do. Maybe they would on the weekends or when, like I said, when there's bigger events. I see
what you're saying when somebody's
But
I was saying, in order to get a cup and stuff, you'd have to actually go in a bar and buy it. But somebody else could buy you a drink and then give you a cup, and
you can walk around like no problem.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it may be a collaborative with the police, man. I mean, there might be 3 or 4 cops that patrol the area.
Of money, though, man. That's the way I look at it.
But my thing is,
are they going to make money?
Because anytime I've ever been down there, even before this, like if I went to, take Wifey to Yard House, or we go to Ruth Chris or something down in that same block, Holy Grail, whatever, there's always been a cop or a bike cop or something, a Segway cop. Somebody's always in the area. I mean, those same 2-3 cops that they have kind of patrolling that area could be kind of watching and looking, who knows, bro? Who knows? I'm sure there's more cameras. I'm sure there's undercovers. I mean, there may be a lot of stuff going on, but man, when you want, I mean, and this is the thing, when you got more expensive costs on those DORA cups and you've got more revenue down in the area because of what you're doing, maybe there's a little bit of a budget for some security and for some precaution. And, but that's what you're asking for. That's the stuff that goes into these type of things, right? I mean, you can't have an event and be like, oh, we can't afford the security. I mean, you gotta.
It's a lot going on, man. Like
it is.
I think about it all the time. Like even being down there when these events are just one day type of things where they allow you to do stuff like this. I'm like, man, this is a lot. Like, man, because you could get away with so much shit. Like
there was so many people down there on that Saturday 2 weeks ago when it first got jumping.
Mm-hmm.
Like people was calling me like, bro, it's so stupid in the city right now, man. It's dumb down there. I'm like, what? It's like, man, it's 74 degrees, clear sky, and you can drink.
Yeah.
And it was sick. Well, and it wasn't no big event, but it was. So I'm just like, man, what's going to happen when it's really summer come June? Yeah. Everybody's out of school.
Because they do, they do, what do you call that, for 4th of July?
WB and fireworks.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You tell me I can go down here on this strip, drink, have fun, give me a little bite to eat, like, because a lot more of them spots going to start opening up the window to go type joints. There's already a few down there, but it's like, man, like.
Hey, I ain't Cincinnati downtown popping, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I can remember 20 years ago when it wasn't nothing to do. It's jumping now. I mean, because me and Wifey went down for Blink, which is sweet now. It's one of the coolest events in the city, when it comes around every couple of years. But, I mean, we're walking through the banks down there, man, and obviously Blink's got their setup, but, there's people drinking here and there. There's kids smoking, and, I mean, it was just a good vibe, man, and, everybody was kind of just off doing their own thing. My only fear now is that there'll be so many people just because it's like
it's
we
gonna
can't
bring
wait
a crowd
to get out.
You can say it. It's going to bring a crowd that you might not necessarily enjoy being around.
For sure. It's going to bring a lot of kids down. The summertime
That's
gets
my
crazy
problem.
in the
like,
city.
Those kids start coming more and more down from
up top.
What they'll start coming down from Vine, coming
from
down
Main
from
Street and Liberty and all that. City West, Parktown, they'll be down there. Even some kids hang out, man. They're in the city. It's a lot more than you think, man.
Even Fountain Square, like,
and they don't
a lot of those people are
the bus stop.
They're gonna start pulling down more and more and more because and they do that. They were doing that during the fireworks and all that anyway. So it's like
I've seen the bike gangs and stuff riding around a lot down in the city now. A lot of footage of them doing the quads and the whole Meek Mill thing. So I mean, that's kind of cool, man. And as long as nobody's getting hurt, man, I love the cultural stuff.
Yeah, I don't give
a
damn.
Ride the quads and do the tricks and make sure nobody's hurt. And when you're down, I used to take the kids down to the river and people be on jet skis rolling around and spinning and all. I mean, it's a good vibe.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with none of that. It's just when it gets a little bit, I'm not gonna say obnoxious, but it
Black
just
Family reunion-ish.
Man, not even that, man. Because
the King Day-ish.
Because black folk can have a great time, man, and not like I don't know if y'all ever been down there during when it's it used to be the Macy's Festival, but the music festival. Oh, that's ran by black folk, man. They do that down there, and it's grown black folk though. It ain't a whole lot of kids and shit going on. You know what I mean?
People driving from all over to come to that.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's what like I don't mind it. Like if it's like that, like that's fine. But when it's like I can't remember when this happened. Like maybe been a year ago, but that dude that was fighting all them kids, man. I don't know if you remember that. He got like jumped down there on the banks. got beat up in a whole bunch of shit. Now, granted, both sides are probably egging each other on, but it's like, you can't have that down there, man. And I know the security will go up because when one type of crowd feels threatened and they stop coming and the business and everything go down, they start to fix shit. So I know it'll be fixed. Yeah. They'll have certain regulations on it, but
going across the way, I don't know if you've been across the river lately, but across from the aquarium. So if you go over the bridge that's next to U.S. Bank, it's not a highway, but you go over and it takes you right to the roundabout. To the left is the Newport on the Levee. To the right, man, they're building a big amphitheater, a nice little park to where the stage will have a backdrop of the city.
Yeah, you can see the city and all that.
I mean, so that side's popping. I mean, so there's a lot of
stuff.
they
were trying to build that over here originally.
I know.
But they're building.
They are doing something right there under Roebling Bridge.
Yeah, they're building a whole.
And they're doing a bike trail or a big walking thing supposed to go up the whole river. Very similar to how Detroit has a little, they call it the River Walk. So, oh man, it's coming along, bro. I'm excited to see that, and I enjoy taking my kids down there.
Oh yeah, and if you're a person that feels safe enough to do it, then a lot of other people should as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now a lot of other people ain't like us, but
man,
you should still feel like it's the okay time, man. Yeah. I can remember a time when I was younger where that I don't mean to throw this super way left, but there was that rapist that was in the park down there in on the river, and that park on the river that they were looking for. You know what I mean? And there were still plenty of people down there at the time during the day.
Right.
Now at night, people that were jogging and doing all that dumb shit, nah, they cut all that out. You know what I mean? But people were still out and about.
Pick your time, feel it out. You know, if
be
you're
smart, be around a bunch of people.
Yeah, if you're unsure, go down early. You know, on a Saturday or a Sunday, there's still a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah,
you know, get your eyes on some things so that if you do go down later at night, you kind of know where you're going.
Yeah.
But man, it only takes a few times to become comfortable, and it's a good.
They still got it's always gonna be down there now, but they got the Ferris wheel and all that. Like, they got it looking nice down there, man. It's starting to make big changes. So
yeah, it's a cool thing.
Oh yeah, we'll rock with it, man. But let's get into this last little topic, kind of round it out. And this has to do. It doesn't really have nothing to do with anything. It's just, what are you watching this weekend? You know, I always kind of end it off with something like that. You watching anything in particular, or can't ready to watch anything, or have you? You know, watch
man,
anything?
I watched the 2 first episodes of Falcon and Winter Soldier, so I got to catch the 3rd one here.
Yeah.
But I did catch up on those. We finished that Behind Her Eyes, man, and that was crazy. That was nuts. Did you guys finish it?
I haven't finished that. We haven't finished that one yet.
I got to.
That's more of my girls kind of joint, but
that stuff.
I gotta finish watching that one.
Yeah, man. Now, wifey just texted me. So Netflix has got a show called The Irregulars. It's a spinoff of Sherlock Holmes and I forget his partner's name, but it's set way back kind of in that European setting where there's some kids that are kind of like street kids, kind of homeless, and they live together. But Sherlock Holmes and his partner are using them to help them solve these cases. And but no, other than that, man, not a whole lot of going on TV right now. I think that was mainly because of March Madness and just a lot going on lately. But I am gonna try to figure something else to get into. What you got going on?
I've been watching Falcon Winter Soldier. Haven't gotten into anything else like super deep. I know a lot of stuff is dropping this month on HBO Max, so went ahead and picked that up.
I'm ready for that Bad Batch.
Bad Batch that comes out, what is that, May 4th on Disney Plus. So, got that coming. Wrapping up The Sinner on Netflix. Very good, like little series. I enjoyed it. But besides that, I haven't really watched anything else. Even sporting wise, like I just been kind of on the breaks a little bit, especially what's going on in the NBA. Whole lot of movement. Yeah. We do have the draft this month though for the NFL.
Yep.
It's in Cleveland, man.
Around our birthdays.
Yeah. Last year, shit got ruined. I was supposed to go to Vegas for the draft. Didn't happen. Yep. So, there's that. But it's in Cleveland this year. We're thinking about going up there, but hey, it's here though, and it's a good time to be a Bengals fan.
Right.
Watching this draft.
That'd be cool.
So,
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Space Jam's supposed to drop on the 16th.
Is it this month?
Or is it July 16th?
I think it's July.
Wow, what's something else then? Maybe I'm thinking something else this month. But no, there's a lot of stuff coming, man. There's a lot of stuff coming this
I know they dropped the trailer for Space Jam this morning.
Yeah.
You see it?
I didn't. I saw some of the
screenshots.
Still screens, before but I'll watch that when I get home.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
looks pretty good.
Yeah, that'd be
So,
solid.
I'll probably enjoy it. But yeah, I know Mortal Kombat is this month.
That's what I'm thinking of.
But the thing with Mortal Kombat is it's so dope. I don't know why, but I don't know if it's the last few Mortal Kombats or it's just all Mortal Kombats in general. I feel like they all drop around my birthday, whether it be games or the movies.
Maybe it's an April thing.
So the last 4 Mortal Kombats, brother, I've always gotten them because they came out around my birthday.
I damn near feel like they conceived in April, back in 1984, April 9th or something. I think April might be their founding month. I'm gonna look back into that, but it's got to be something with that month. It's kind of like Call of Duty drops in November every year. It's just something about that month and that time. Obviously
Money for
Christmas, obviously Christmas and shit. But hey, real quick, man, I want to drop something before we get out of here. Let's listen to a podcast with Bruce Buffer from MMA and Michael Buffer's his brother. Let's Get Ready to Rumble and all that stuff. And I'm not going to get into the entire story, but a great story if you ever get to listen to the Buffer brothers. There's a younger brother named Brian as well. But Ready to Rumble, the video game, is theirs. They patented the Let's Get Ready to Rumble trademark and all that stuff. That's their game. And it's just crazy that they actually had the record for the fastest selling video game in the first 24 hours prior to Call of Duty breaking the record, within the last 10 years. And a lot of people just don't even know that. And that was on Dreamcast. That wasn't even a major console game that we're still playing this day. It wasn't a PlayStation or an Xbox. But, man, fun fact, man, the Buffer brothers had that Let's Get Ready to Rumble, 1 and 2, round 2. And Afro Thunder, man, that was their thing. But it was the fastest selling video game in 24 hours prior to Call of Duty Saga. So
that's super interesting.
Sweet, man.
Super interesting. Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Random.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, the Buffer. Let's get ready to rumble.
Boy.
It's time, Jalen.
Nah, they had a bunch of little cuts on there that I always rock with. So that's what's up.
And those guys, man, they made a hit out of that stuff. I mean, they do weddings, they do funerals, they do proms, bar mitzvahs, movies, whatever it is, but they make some money off just being able to announce things.
Yeah, man, their enunciation and their, whole cadence is what they've built their careers off of.
Introducing Mike Tyson,
They've introduced some of the greatest.
Introducing any of those guys. He said something that made me, I didn't even think about it, but he said, I know that my introduction has to be great because I am the spark for the fighter. He's like, you obviously got your music when you come out. You've got your team there hyping you up. You've done your kind of pregame warm-up. He's like, but when you hit that canvas and you get out there and those lights drop and it's fighting out of the red corner, and they announce your city and your country and,
your nickname,
and the Bronze Bomber. You going, and they lead up to that, Iron Mike Tyson. And it's like, that's the last thing they get before they get in there and get after it. That's cool, man. That's cool to be a part of those guys like that.
And it's cool to have that they're saying trademark,
bruh.
Because
and I ain't even get into
ran with that shit.
I ain't even get to the deep story because it'll take me a little bit, but me and you will talk about it in a little while. But man, it's an interesting story about those guys and how they got to that. Yeah. So shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out to them, man. Yes, sir. I think that's all we got for today. what was this, episode 46?
46.
Oh, yeah, man.
You're rocking, man. We're almost to 50.
Oh, yeah, man. Countdown continues to episode 50, man. Man, that 50 piece, boy, that's where it really starts coming together, man. But I think with that being said, man, we'll let everybody get out of here. Enjoy your Saturday. It's actually nice out, so enjoy that. This was the Unanimous Table Talk Podcast, episode 46. I'm your boy, Walk.
It's your boy, Marquiano. Everybody be safe.
Yes, sir. We out of here.
Powered by
Woke me up early this morning, touching all on me, you wouldn't leave me alone. You the one that I wanted. Don't know how I end up in this bed alone, but I need you right now. Don't play no games, girl. Me, you the same, girl. We got this thing, girl. You and me. I pull ground moving through my body. I pull up and I don't hear nobody. Stop playing these games, girl, not me. Rolling doobies just to pass on me. You got a lot that I love and I can't get enough, girl, I just need more. The sense of your touch is addicting enough to where I don't know.